All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to May. We are weeks away from graduation, May 20th. It's a day that's marked on our calendars from the very beginning of the school year, and something that we anticipate with much enthusiasm. And for the rest of our students, the following week will be their last week of school. I think May 26th is the last Friday of the school year. So we're in the last month. The school is busy with testing. We've had a number of visits from actually schools around the country who are interested in just spending some time at Atlanta Classical. We had a school from Naples, Florida, just this past week sit in on a number of senior thesis presentations. So much is happening on campus. It's a busy time, but truly a joyful time. And I'm excited to share some updates with you all today. The first thing, this is late breaking news. Literally, I got an email about this probably 2 minutes ago. Every year, there's an award called the Salvatori Prize for Teaching. It's available to every public and private school in the country, and it exists to award excellent teaching. It has sort of three objectives, right? To focus on great teaching, which it thinks is at the core of any positive sort of education reform effort, to support schools financially for books, equipment, and other things, and to also, and this is, I think, why our school is sort of uniquely relevant to this award, it exists to promote the principles of classical liberal arts education. If you win this thing, it comes with a $25,000 prize. Our leadership team put in an application just a couple of weeks ago, and actually, I suppose it was a couple of months ago now, but I was notified this morning that we are one of 2 finalists. So a team of representatives of the Salvatori Prize will be coming to campus during the week of May 15th to sit in on classes for the entire day, to talk to members of the leadership team. So it's a massive honor to be, of course, one of the 2 schools that's selected to be visited by this team. And it's a testament to the good work of our teachers who have made this school a place that is desirable, a place that I think is an expression of our mission, right, to form intelligent and virtuous American citizens. So we've been waiting for this news for a long time. You all are actually hearing it before I've had a chance to even tell the faculty. We have an all-faculty meeting this afternoon where I'll share the good word. But anyway, congratulations, you're hearing first. All right, so a couple of highlights from this past week. The biggest thing that happened was the House Damascus dance on Saturday evening. Miss Kayla Beth Moore is the fearless leader of House Damascus. Really just an underdog team within the House system, but always competitive, always dangerous. She spent with a couple other teachers her entire Saturday in the Atlanta Classical gym getting ready for this event. We had something like 180 160 roughly 6th through 8th graders on campus on Saturday night, and the gym was decorated beautifully. There was a picture party before the event. The 8th grade boys decided to launch each other to the rafters at some point before Mr. Nugent sort of, intercepted them and gave them a little safety briefing. But these are always just thrilling events. And when I talk to folks about what makes our dances, in the upper school special, the first thing that I say is that our faculty dance, right? It is seeing Mr. Nugent or Mr. Holt or Mr. Thiel or Miss O'Rourke or Miss Moore get out and willingly embarrass themselves. That sort of communicates to a 6th grader, oh, I'm allowed to do this, right? I'm not too cool to jump in and have fun with my friends. So if you're ever a chaperone for one of these events, it is a treat. Your students might surprise you at what willing dancers they are, and our teachers lead the way in this regard. So this was a wonderful evening, and I'm very grateful to Miss Moore and the rest of the middle school house team for putting this on. All right, on Friday night and Sunday evening, our high school students put on our spring musical, which was Little Women. This group has been waiting for years to be able to do something, right? Because of COVID, we've had to delay the spring musical for the last 2 seasons. And so our seniors especially were just thrilled to have the chance to perform on a stage in front of a gathering of family, friends, grandparents, etc. For one last time. Eliza Coleman played the role of Jo March, and she was absolutely spectacular. She was witty and sang beautifully, and was accompanied by the other sisters and the mother. Viviana Magin played that role. Elizabeth Richter was a sister. Maria Harl was one of the sisters as well. The whole thing was just spectacular. Mr. Baxter and Mr. Franklin also stepped in the 11th hour to play roles themselves. We had a few needs that kind of surprised us, and so Mr. Baxter played the tutor, Mr. Brooke, and Mr. Franklin played the overbearing grandfather of Lori, Mr. Lawrence. One of the highlights of the performance for me was a duet, actually, that Mr. Franklin sang with Elizabeth Welcher, a song called Massachusetts. For those of you that have seen the Little Women musical, you know what I'm talking about. But it was just moving. It was powerful. The two of them sang beautifully together. And just in general, the performance was special. And these kids only had one day on the stage on Thursday to prepare for this. Right, they've been practicing in our sort of limited space on campus for the last 8 weeks, but truly had a single dress rehearsal, and every transition, every line was perfect. Just a really impressive performance all around, from the stage crew to the lights to the sound, and I'm really just proud of Mr. Franklin and the rest of this team for doing this under challenging circumstances. A quick update here on the Cavalier Fund. This is something that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. We set the goal of each grade reaching 75% participation, and if this happened, we told our students that we would throw each class a pizza party. And I learned late on Sunday night that every single grade met this goal. So we had 78% participation school-wide. Our donations exceeded our goal of $400,000 for the year. So now we set about managing the logistics of throwing a school-wide pizza party, which we couldn't be happier about. So thank you to all of you who gave and who support this work. Mr. Franklin, actually, on Sunday, I was at the matinee performance at 4 p.m. He opened with some sort of director remarks about the importance of this fund precisely, right? The theater rental, the costumes, all of that goes into running a successful musical production is funded by the Cavalier Fund, right? Everything that happens outside of the school day comes out of this funding source. And so you all make a spring production like Little Women possible by giving to this. So we're incredibly grateful to our community. Not surprised necessarily that so many folks sort of rose to the challenge and met the 75% bar. And we'll just have to raise it for next year and up the stakes for our students as well. If we're being honest, we know that the key here is kids coming to their parents and putting pressure on them because they desperately want pizza. They don't have enough in their life, so we need to get them more. Anyway, we're really excited to have met our goal, both the final financial goal and also the rate of participation. So again, thank you very much. I also want to give just a quick review of our spring sports. I've got a kind of a cheeky title here: 8 teams, 5 buses, 12 locations. 12 locations because we don't necessarily have a home field for soccer, for baseball, for golf, for track. And so our athletics team has the incredible challenge of managing all of our teams every single week across a variety of different spaces, and coordinating the sort of dense logistical challenge of getting everyone where they need to be in a timely manner. And we saw incredible success among our teams this year. Our varsity girls soccer team had, I think, 10 students that were basically new to soccer who played important roles on the team and made a deep run into the playoffs. They lost in the second or third round with literally seconds left to the number 2 team in the state. So a really impressive performance anchored by some of our seniors. Kate Berry, Lucy Kirby, Brittany Delgado, that just these young ladies just played their hearts out. And we were really proud of their efforts. Our track team, they're actually still competing. I think they've got the state meet in front of them, but we had a number of students qualify in a variety of events. Our baseball team, I've mentioned this before, lost in the championship game, but this is a year where they actually went up a division from the previous year. We won the championship last year, and so in the league that we participate in, we were moved up to a more competitive group and lost in the championship game, but we're proud of them. Our golf team had a really successful year. We've got Ryan Panessa there with a beautiful follow through. And then our middle school soccer team, these young ladies also made a deep playoff run. So just proud of the work that each of our student athletes put in, and also of Coach Reed and his team for managing another successful season. They can be unsung heroes on our campus sometimes. We just sort of expect that these things work well. And if you see Coach Reed, if you see a member of that team, do express your gratitude because they put in a lot of work to make this happen. Finally, I want to just talk briefly about our sixth grade. This is my curricular focus for the day. I'm actually going to go from here into a review of the Legenda because there's lots that's happening between now and the end of the school year. But I wanted to talk just briefly about our sixth grade. This is a really critical year, and I get a lot of questions from parents about whether the sixth grade is part of the lower school or part of the upper school. Is it part of the middle school? And these questions exist for good reason, in part because sixth grade participates in some upper school events. For instance, they're part of the house system. They get sorted at the beginning of their sixth grade year. Our sixth graders actually have 3 different teachers, right? For K through 5, you have one teacher. For 7 through 12, you have a teacher for every discipline. But in sixth grade, you have a kind of limited rotation where you go to one teacher for Latin and history, you go to another for math and science, and then another for English and grammar. And so the sixth grade, and I'll say it now, I'll dispel all rumors, is officially part of our lower school still. But we mean for it to be a transitional year in every way. It's why we give our students lockers. It's why we allow them to kind of move safely between 3 different classrooms. We want for them to be able to begin to anticipate and sort of experience what upper school will be like, but still have the safety of a homeroom teacher that they spend considerable time with. One of the things that I'm most excited about for our sixth grade year is a new capstone project that's beginning this month. They're going to be writing kind of a short essay that's responding to our school's mission statement of forming knowledgeable, virtuous American citizens, and how their grammar school education formed their intellects and formed their characters. And they're going to present this paper to their classes. And we mean for this to be a kind of preview of the senior thesis project that they get to do as seniors in high school. All through high school, we have different assignments that sort of lead into the senior thesis project. The Iliad competition in the 9th grade does this. In 10th grade, the students write a kind of cumulative essay reflecting on what they've learned in Western Civ over the last 2 years. In 11th grade, there's a kind of a special paper in the English class that preps kids for the senior thesis. But this begins as early as 6th grade. Let me talk about 3 other sort of goals that our 6th grade teachers have sort of set out for themselves this school year, and that I've really seen them execute on thoughtfully. The first was giving additional attention to organization and executive functioning. I think when we assessed where we were as a school this past summer, we realized that one of our opportunities for growth was really positioning our rising 6th grade students as they begin to head into 7th grade and through the upper school to ensure that they have the organizational skills that are required for them to be successful students. So many kids are bright and philosophically minded and quick in math and science, but just so happen to lose every paper that they receive from their teachers. And so when homework is due, they are missing assignments and missing work piles up and they struggle. And so our 6th grade team's been really intentional this year at checking agendas every single day at the end of a school day, and then also doing weekly binder, agenda, and locker checks on Fridays. That actually are a participation grade. A second point of focus is just, and this has been kind of a school-wide focus, but it's been really focusing on literacy and numeracy instruction. We've talked a lot about teaching literacy across the curriculum. So in a lot of schools, they might think that literacy instruction happens primarily in an ELA block, right, in your English literature block. But for us, we think it happens in literature, in history, in Latin, even in mathematics, right? I've now seen Mr. Clausen execute a paper every year in his pre-calculus class. That's become one of the highlights of junior year. Of course, that's in high school, but starting in the 6th grade and really through the lower school, we want to be thoughtful about integrating literacy instruction across disciplines. And then finally, our 6th grade team has put a lot of thinking into having more teacher-led interventions. So each one of our 6th grade teachers actually skips one of their planning periods during PE each year and works individually with a student who's missing work, who's struggling academically, or just in need of additional support. So this team is led by Mr. Bryant Holt and Miss Kayla Beth Moore and Miss Annette Moxie. And they've just done a wonderful job preparing our 6th graders for 7th grade. They hosted a call a couple of weeks ago that hopefully some of you attended if you have a rising 6th grader, but I couldn't be more proud of the work that this team does. All right. I mentioned this last week, but we are sort of wrapping up our hiring season at Atlanta Classical, and we are especially looking for special education teachers right now at ACA. We've got an opening in the upper school that we are interested in filling. So I share this with all of you in the event that you might know of someone who could be interested, but you can kind of log that away in your memories. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here briefly and do a quick review of the Legenda, as there are a lot of upcoming events that I want to make sure are on your calendars. So if you'll give me a moment here. All right, hopefully you all can see this. I'm going to walk through just key upcoming events. So the week of May 8th, this is always an exciting week, is our Teacher Appreciation Week. And so I think our PTCA team has actually put together themes for each day, which you can take a look at. They are good enough to provide a lunch for the entire faculty on Friday, which is always a highlight. This is a nice boost, right? We're in the midst of testing. Schedules are always disrupted. So there's a lot of excitement around Teacher Appreciation Week, and you can see what each day or how each day is designated. Summer enrichment courses at ACA, we are really happy to offer, I think for the 4th or 5th year in a row, upper and lower school classes with a focus in literacy and numeracy. These are going to happen the last 2 weeks of July. I think we're going to have a total of 4 classes in the upper school and then kind of grade level classes in the lower school. So the specific details of what exactly the offerings will be out in the next couple of weeks. But just to have this on your radar, these last 2 weeks of July, we'll be offering these free classes on campus to both sort of revisit core skills and prepare kids for a successful 2023-2024 school year. We're also in the midst now of selling our school supply kits. Those of you that have been here for a long time know that in previous years, we used to send you all a kind of long list that articulated what it was that kids needed to buy in order to be ready for the academic year in the fall. Now we just create a kind of pre-built kit that you can buy from us for a single price. We have found that this just sort of streamlines the organization effort and also reduces the burden on all of you. So please, for those students K through 8, go ahead and make those purchases for next school year. We're going to allow for these to be made through June 5th. A couple other key events here in the lower school. Our 4th and 5th grade living library is going to be happening on Thursday, May 18th. Mr. Barfield is leading this effort, and this is going to be an awesome one. The kids are going to be in costume. They are even now sort of they're going to be method actors for the day and really assume the person of a literary character. This is going to be a ton of fun. I hope that you'll stop by. And on May 26th, we have our lower school field day. This is the last day of school. We're still looking for a couple of volunteers to ensure that the day goes as smoothly as possible, and you'll be able to click through the Legenda to volunteer if you're interested. Some upper school events. On May 11th, we have our 8th grade convocation ceremony. This is the first time that we've done this. And we wanted to honor this class in particular because they are our original kindergarten students. Mr. Nugent told me today that we have over 250 people that are going to be coming to this event, siblings, students, parents, etc. We're going to have some amazing performances. We're going to have some awards that are given out. If you have not yet RSPV'd, please do. This is an event that you won't want to miss. And then on the 12th, we have our upper school awards and coffee house. We want to strongly encourage every single upper school student and their families to attend. We're actually going to be giving out more awards this year than we have in previous years. It used to be that sort of the juniors were sort of the exclusive focus of the upper school awards, and we'll still have a kind of slate of awards that are kind of unique for our junior class as they prepare to be the leaders in our high school. But we've expanded a number of sort of honors. And so just the number of students that are going to be recognized on Friday, May 12th is going to increase. And so we hope that a lot of folks will come. This is a really important event in the life of the upper school. We're also going to be celebrating our Teacher of the Year. And frankly, we want for the students and for that teacher to feel as honored as humanly possible for all the hard work that they've put in over the course of this year. So please, if you can, make that the upper school awards ceremony, and there's actually a coffee house that directly follows. Finally, two more things. May 20th is our graduation ceremony. If you're interested in getting a ticket, contact Mr. Sheps. I think that there are probably a couple left for folks that don't have students that are graduating. This is going to happen at First Presbyterian Church in Midtown. It's a beautiful space. It'll start at 10 a.m. So mark your calendars accordingly. Couple other just short things. On Friday evening, the South building is going to be transformed into a mini golf space. I'm planning to take my 2-year-old to this event who wanders around with his plastic golf clubs and has really been holding his follow through lately. It's just showing great promise for a future golf career. And a really eager father. So anyway, he's going to make his golfing debut, his competitive golfing debut this Friday with House Alexandria and House Constantinople. This is going to happen from 6 to 8 p.m. Will be lots of fun. And then finally, House Day at Hammond Park, the culmination of a year of house-long competitions to name a winning house. Amazingly, Alexandria holds a 10-point lead currently, but the margins are slim generally. So it should be a competitive day. All right, a lot of information. Thanks very much for your attention today. I will see y'all next week. Thanks very much for coming to these calls.